Wake up! Wake up, wake up, wake up! Up you wake, up you wake, up you wake, up you wake!
Underwater is the latest film from William Eubank, the director of the 2014 film The Signal, which was not great. I gave it a 4, and I've basically forgotten about it ever since then. Underwater, however, is a much better movie. It's a January release, so I was expecting literally nothing, and I came out with a few things to admire about it. Although I would have enjoyed a beefier first act where we get an idea of who these characters are, what they do, and basic geography of the space they're in before they're in crisis mode, I respect that this film skips all of that and these characters are in crisis within the first 3 minutes of the film. Another thing I enjoyed about the film is that the visual effects were kind of amazing. I know that has a lot to do with the fact that the depths of the ocean are pitch black, but even then there's still room to fuck it up, and the visual effects team did an amazing job. There wasn't a single moment where I wondered if they were on a soundstage or underwater. It's mostly shot pretty well. I kind of wish the camera would have been pulled back a couple of feet, or if they used wider lenses, because some scenes and the way they're executed felt Paul Greengrass adjacent, but the film definitely tries to wow you visually. But the creatures, the design, and the way they're used are not great, unfortunately. This is another film in a long list of films and television shows that have ominous, spooky creatures that are designed in the least imaginative way imaginable. Gray, long arms, vague facial features, mouth that opens with 4 lips and little things in its mouth that move around. We've seen it so many times, like put some actual effort into designing your creatures, Hollywood. Please, I beg you. I'm literally begging you. Besides the design being lackluster, the visual effects work on them wasn't that great. The believability of the environment that I mentioned before works until the underwater creatures enter the picture, and then all immersiveness is completely lost for me. They didn't look good at all, and they dragged down my enjoyment of the film heavily. I would have preferred if there wasn't a horde of creatures that our characters had to deal with, and we just had our characters dealing with the elements, because the stakes were already super high before their arrival. Dealing with the wrath of Mother Nature while being trapped 7 miles underwater, with limited resources while traversing the interactions of your colleagues with varying personalities is a watchable movie to me that basically writes itself. But then the people making this film wouldn't be able to say it's Alien meets whatever movie they were thinking about for their pitch meeting. Which brings me to the obvious Alien inspiration. The inside of the rig and the way it's initially filmed gives off Alien vibes immediately, and you can tell that this film is definitely standing on the shoulders of that film, but it finds ways to turn that on its head and make it interesting in ways that other films like it seemed not self-aware enough to do. The biggest example of this is what I will call this film's egg hatching scene. There isn't a literal egg hatching scene, but there is a scene similar to it, and you'll know it when you see it, but my point is this film takes tropes like that and surprises you, hopefully. The performances in this film are all pretty passable. Kristen Stewart carries this film pretty well, and she works as the emotional core of the movie. Vincent Cassel, John Gallagher Jr., and Jess Henwick were all good as well, but they didn't have enough to do to really jump off the screen. Basically, they played the situation pretty well. TJ Miller, on the other hand, was very hit or miss. His presence in the film is the same as every other thing he's in, which is to be the observational funny guy, and sometimes it worked, and sometimes it did not fit the tone of the scene at all, and it threw me off quite a bit. Overall, this is a pretty okay creature feature. I was not emotionally invested in this film. Every time this movie would reach a moment of tension, they would cut to black and completely take that feeling of adrenaline away from you, which was strange and not welcomed at all. But like I said, I would have enjoyed this film more if the monster elements weren't even in it, but hey, that's just me, and I'm giving Underwater a 5 out of 10. It's the best film of the year at the moment, and it's also the best film of the decade. Ha 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 ha. That was a funny joke. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and share with your friends, and do all the things. Appreciate you, love you, okay, bye-bye.